The National Electrical Code, or NEC, sets forth specific requirements for temporary lighting installations to ensure safety and prevent electrical hazards. When addressing the request to use street light poles for temporary lighting, such as holiday lights, it is crucial to adhere to these codes. Here is a breakdown of the relevant NEC guidelines and other important considerations. Firstly, GFI protection is paramount. All temporary lighting circuits must be protected by ground fault circuit interrupters, known as GFCIs. This requirement is explicitly stated in NEC section 590.6. GFCI protection is essential to minimize the risk of electric shock in wet or damp locations, which are common during outdoor lighting installations. Secondly, extension cord connections must be handled with care. When using extension cords for temporary lighting, several rules apply. Use only heavy-duty, weather-resistant extension cords rated for outdoor use. This is according to NEC section 590.4a. These cords are designed to withstand the rigors of outdoor environments, including exposure to moisture, sunlight, and physical stress. Do not use more than one extension cord to connect temporary lighting to a power source as mentioned in NEC section 590.4b. Daisy chaining extension cords can overload the circuit and create a fire hazard. All extension cord connections must be made using watertight connectors, as per NEC section 590.4c. These connectors prevent moisture from entering the connection, reducing the risk of corrosion and electrical shorts. Thirdly, disconnects are a critical safety component. A disconnect switch or circuit breaker must be provided within sight of the temporary lighting installation as stated in NEC section 590.5a. This allows for quick and easy shut-off of the power in case of an emergency or for maintenance purposes. The disconnect must be rated for the maximum load of the temporary lighting according to NEC section 590.5b. This ensures that the disconnect can safely interrupt the circuit without failing. Aside from the general NEC requirements for temporary lighting, there are specific considerations when it comes to using street light poles. Unauthorized use of street light poles for purposes other than their intended function, such as providing street lighting, is generally not permitted. Local regulations may vary, but most jurisdictions prohibit unauthorized modifications to public infrastructure. Old street light poles may not be structurally sound enough to support the additional weight of temporary lighting fixtures. Adding lights can create a safety hazard if the pole is weakened or unstable. The electrical system on street light poles is designed for maintenance by qualified personnel only. Unauthorized access or modifications to the system can create electrical hazards, including electric shock and fire. It is crucial to explain to the franchise owners that the street light pole system is not designed for temporary lighting use and that using it for this purpose could create electrical hazards and potentially damage the system. Provide them with the relevant NEC requirements for temporary lighting, including the need for GFI protection, weather-resistant cords, and proper disconnects. Suggest alternative options for temporary lighting, such as using standalone lighting fixtures with their own power source and GFI protection. This approach ensures that the lighting is installed safely and in compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. Consider the following additional information regarding temporary lighting installations. Temporary wiring for holiday lighting must be of an approved type and suitable for the purpose as outlined in NEC section 590.4. Ensure that all wiring is properly insulated and protected from physical damage. All lamps for general illumination must be protected from accidental contact or breakage by a suitable fixture or lamp holder with a guard as stated in NEC section 410.3. This prevents potential injuries from broken glass or exposed electrical components. Flexible cords and cables must be protected from accidental damage as noted in NEC section 400.8. Avoid running cords through doorways, windows, or other areas where they could be pinched or damaged. Temporary lighting must be removed immediately upon completion of the project or purpose for which it was installed as required in NEC section 590.3d. This prevents the accumulation of unused wiring and potential hazards. Always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector to ensure that any temporary lighting installation complies with all applicable codes and regulations. They can provide guidance on specific requirements and ensure that the installation is safe and reliable. When addressing concerns about using street light poles for temporary lighting, it is essential to communicate the potential risks and liabilities involved. Unauthorized use of public infrastructure can result in fines, penalties, and legal action. If someone is injured due to an unsafe or improperly installed lighting system, the property owner or responsible party could be held liable. Damage to the street light pole or electrical system could result in costly repairs and service disruptions. It is important to emphasize the importance of safety and compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. By taking a proactive and responsible approach, you can help prevent accidents, injuries, and property damage. Here are some additional details to consider when discussing temporary lighting options with the franchise owners. Standalone lighting fixtures with their own power source and GFI protection offer a safe and convenient alternative to using street light poles. These fixtures can be easily installed and removed without requiring any modifications to existing infrastructure. Solar-powered lighting fixtures are another option to consider. These fixtures are environmentally friendly and do not require any external power source. Battery-operated lighting fixtures can be used in areas where access to electricity is limited. Be sure to use high-quality batteries and replace them regularly to ensure reliable operation. LED lighting is a more energy-efficient option compared to traditional incandescent or fluorescent lighting. LED lights also have a longer lifespan, which can reduce maintenance costs. When installing temporary lighting, be sure to follow all manufacturers' instructions and safety guidelines. This includes using the correct voltage and wattage for the fixtures and ensuring that all connections are secure. Regularly inspect the temporary lighting system for any signs of damage or wear. Replace any damaged or worn components immediately. Be aware of weather conditions and take appropriate precautions to protect the temporary lighting system from rain, snow, or wind. Use waterproof covers and secure the fixtures to prevent them from being blown over. If the temporary lighting system will be used for an extended period of time, consider using a timer to automatically turn the lights on and off. This can help conserve energy and extend the life of the bulbs. When the temporary lighting system is no longer needed, be sure to remove it promptly and properly dispose of any waste materials. Do not leave any wiring or fixtures behind. Here are some additional considerations for ensuring the safety of temporary lighting installations. Before beginning any work on an electrical system, always disconnect the power at the source. Use a voltage tester to verify that the power is off before touching any wires or components. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and gloves, when working with electrical equipment. Never work on electrical systems in wet or damp conditions. Keep all flammable materials away from electrical equipment. Be aware of the location of underground utilities before digging or driving stakes into the ground. Call your local utility company to have them mark the location of any underground lines. Never overload electrical circuits. Check the amperage rating of the circuit breaker or fuse before plugging in any electrical devices. If you are unsure about any aspect of electrical safety, consult with a qualified electrician. Remember that electrical work can be dangerous, and it is always best to err on the side of caution. By following these guidelines and taking the necessary precautions, you can help ensure the safety of temporary lighting installations and prevent accidents and injuries. It is important to stay informed about the latest electrical codes and regulations. The NEC is updated every 3 years, and it is essential to keep up with the changes to ensure compliance. Local jurisdictions may also have their own electrical codes and regulations, so be sure to check with your local building department. By staying informed and following best practices, you can help create a safe and reliable electrical system. Now let's delve deeper into some specific aspects of temporary lighting installations. Firstly, regarding ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, these devices are designed to protect people from electric shock by detecting ground faults. A ground fault occurs when electricity flows through an unintended path, such as through a person's body. GFCIs work by monitoring the current flowing through a circuit. If the current flowing into the circuit differs from the current flowing out by more than a few milliamperes, the GFCI will trip, interrupting the flow of electricity. GFCIs are required in wet or damp locations because these conditions increase the risk of electric shock. Secondly, let's talk about extension cords. As previously mentioned, it is important to use heavy-duty, weather-resistant extension cords rated for outdoor use. These cords are typically made with thicker insulation and have a grounded plug. The gauge of the wire in the extension cord is also important. The lower the gauge number, the thicker the wire. For temporary lighting installations, it is recommended to use extension cords with a gauge of 14 or lower. Avoid using extension cords that are too long, as this can cause voltage drop and reduce the performance of the lighting fixtures. Thirdly, let's discuss disconnects. A disconnect is a switch or circuit breaker that can be used to shut off the power to a circuit. Disconnects are required for temporary lighting installations to provide a way to quickly and easily de-energize the circuit in case of an emergency. The disconnect must be located within sight of the temporary lighting installation so that it can be easily accessed. The disconnect must also be rated for the maximum load of the temporary lighting. Fourthly, let's consider lighting fixtures. When selecting lighting fixtures for temporary installations, it is important to choose fixtures that are suitable for the environment. For outdoor installations, use fixtures that are rated for wet locations. These fixtures are designed to withstand exposure to rain and moisture. Choose fixtures that are energy efficient, such as LED lights. LED lights consume less energy and have a longer lifespan than traditional incandescent or fluorescent lights. Be sure to properly mount the lighting fixtures to prevent them from falling or being damaged. Use appropriate mounting hardware and follow the manufacturer's instructions. Finally, let's address safety precautions. Always disconnect the power before working on any electrical equipment. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and gloves. Never work on electrical systems in wet or damp conditions. Keep all flammable materials away from electrical equipment. Be aware of the location of underground utilities before digging or driving stakes into the ground. Never overload electrical circuits. If you are unsure about any aspect of electrical safety, consult with a qualified electrician. In summary, temporary lighting installations require careful planning and execution to ensure safety and compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. By following the guidelines outlined in this discussion and taking the necessary precautions, you can help prevent accidents, injuries, and property damage.